What's up, Bears fans? Welcome into Chicago Bears Now. My name is Harrison Graham. Little bachelor party getaway for me out in the kind of the mountains, Santa Fe. You guys can kind of see the light over there. I switched my setup. I filmed the four verts yesterday. That light was too bright yesterday, so filming like this today. But thought I'd catch you guys up on a couple things. We've got our early preview for week one going out tomorrow, so be on the lookout for that. Subscribe to the channel because wherever we are, however we film, we are going to bring the content to you and keep you guys up to date on the Chicago Bears. So hit that subscribe button and turn on those notifications. Okay, we'll get to some Ryan Poles scouting stuff in a minute as he's been busy this weekend at some of the big games. But did want to kind of hit this Ben Johnson interview that he did on the Score with Mully and Haugh. Want to talk about one thing in particular when it comes to him coaching Caleb Williams, because it's been well documented that Caleb wanted to be challenged, wanted to be coached hard after the coaching he received last year from Matt Eberflus and Shane Waldron, and B, by all accounts, that has taken place. I mean, whether we've heard it from him, whether we've heard it from Ben, whether we've heard it from fellow coaches, players, Ben Johnson and this coaching staff are coaching not just Caleb, but this whole team very, very hard and setting a very, very high standard, which has been a breath of fresh air because in the past, things have seemingly slipped and fallen through the cracks. But he was asked a little bit further on Mully and Haugh, kind of about that, how the relationship has evolved with him and Caleb so far, and how he's challenged him coaching. And here's what Ben had to say. He said, "quote The standard has been set, the bar has been set high. He, talking about Caleb, has said he wants to be." Not just one of the best, not just one of the top five quarterbacks in this league, but he wants to have a legacy that lasts for a long time. So we're coaching him that way. We're approaching that way. That's not going to change. And look, if you want to be one of the best, A, you got to put in the work, and B, you're going to have to be challenged, and you're going to have to be coached hard and coached well, and that's what they're doing, and that's why when you get out of a preseason game against the Chiefs, even though you finish those last two drives with 10 points, Ben Johnson goes on the podium is basically like, yeah, that first quarter, those first couple drives, that was pretty much hot garbage. I mean, that's what he said, and that's not just about Caleb; it's about the whole operation. You got to set the standard high. That way, if you do meet it or come close to it, you're probably doing a pretty damn good job. And if you don't, there's room to grow. So it's good to see that, because the talk is one thing, but like we've seen the action. The first day of training camp, I think it was, they couldn't get lined up properly, and they pulled the first team offense off the field and put the twos in. Like they're not messing around here. So, whether that means this ultimately works long term, we'll see. Whether that means they're going to hit the ground running, probably going to be a little bumpy ride early on here, as they've thrown the kitchen sink at Caleb Williams. But we've also been told all along, as we get closer to week one, and now they're in that game prep mode for the Minnesota Vikings, they will kind of scale things back where they need to and attack that specific opponent properly. So that is what's going to be obviously taking place here. I'm sure the coaching staff has worked through this Labor Day weekend to get ready for that, and certainly early this next week, hit the ground running before they play a week from tomorrow. Isn't that crazy? 8 days from now, the Chicago Bears will be hosting the Minnesota Vikings for the final game of week one, Monday Night Football. An absolute massive, massive game for a lot of reasons. And by the way, a quick little side note there. We got some Vikings injury news earlier today per Jeremy Fowler. Jalen Naylor, who was going to be their number three receiver coming into the season, probably falls down to their four with the addition of Adam Thielen. But if he's able to play week one, he'll be their number three because Jordan Addison's injured. Well, sounds like he's trending toward playing. Sounds like that hand is healing, and he, barring a setback per Fowler, he will play against the Bears in this game. So they'll have Justin Jefferson, Adam Thielen, and Jalen Naylor. They won't have Jordan Addison, but it's still a lot of toys for J.J. McCarthy to play with in this opening game. So keep an eye on that, as we, of course, will monitor the injury situation all week long. Obviously, Jalen Johnson for the Bears and a couple other guys as well. But listen, predict the score. early score prediction of Bears Vikings. How you guys feeling about that? Drop a score down in the comments. I'll have my early score on tomorrow's preview video. So again, be sure to check that out. Okay, we are sponsored by Prize Picks today, as the best daily fantasy sports app is back with us here on Chicago Bears Now for another football season. We appreciate that. Football is back. What a weekend of college football it's been, and week one for the big fellas just around the corner, a mere days away. So don't miss any of the action with our friends over at Prize Picks. It's very easy to play Prize Picks, as you just pick more or less on stat projections on 2 to 6 player lineups. If you get your lineup right, you can win up to 2,000 times your money. That's right, you can turn $10 into 20,000 if you hit on certain lineups. Prize Picks is offering a special deal for the opening week, as you can take Dak Prescott more than half a passing yard and pair that with another stat projection that you like, whether it's a football pick, a baseball pick, whatever. 2 to 6 player lineups, like we mentioned, and you're basically halfway home with that more than half a passing yard for Dak Prescott. So definitely take advantage of that opportunity, as the clock is ticking before this deal expires. Download the Prize Picks app today. Use code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That is code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks, run your game. That link is in the comments and in the description. prizepicks.com/CLNS. Okay, real quick before we get out of here, Ryan Poles has obviously been on the move this weekend. I think he was at Texas, Ohio State. Then I think he double dipped. I think he got to Clemson for LSU Clemson. Two kind of just slugfest games there. Obviously, Texas fell 14-7. Not a good performance from Arch Manning there, but a lot of good pro talent in that game. Obviously, Clemson fell to LSU 17-10, and right now the game just got underway. Notre Dame-Miami. I'm going to go watch the rest of this one. He is at that game, and obviously one player really stands out in general when you think about this matchup, and that is Jeremiyah Love, the Notre Dame star running back, who was one of the best backs in the country last year. Heisman hopeful this year, Doak Campbell Award finalist, all that stuff. So keep an eye on him. You know, they've gone skill player in the first round the last couple of years. You know, 2 drafts ago it was the Caleb Rome combination. This past year it was obviously Colston Loveland. So, you know, ideally you wouldn't go running back in the first round, but you know, if Jeremiyah Love's sitting there in the teens, if that's what the Bears are picking, that would certainly be a possibility. This running back position beyond this year, I mean, even a little bit this year is obviously a little bit cloudy, but DeAndre Swift's contract becomes easy to move on from if they want to after this season. You know, what is Roschon Johnson's role in the future? How good of a rookie year does Kyle Monangai have? All these things will factor in, but Jeremiyah Love is a first round talent if he has another big time year. So definitely a player that I would imagine Poles is keeping a close eye on, and Miami and Notre Dame each have several draft caliber prospects. So definitely going to go enjoy that game. I will be throwing that on right after I publish this video. But appreciate everybody for tuning in with us here on a Sunday. Hopefully you've enjoyed your college football weekend. Kind of a funky weekend. I mean, just some weird games, low scoring games. I did a Texas Ohio State reaction on 4Verts, my other YouTube channel. If you guys want to go check that out, all that information is still relevant. Then my boys play tomorrow night. TCU, North Carolina. Bill Belichick's debut for the Tar Heels. So that'll certainly be very, very interesting to watch as well. But let me know in the comments. Did your college football team win this weekend? Type Y for yes. Type in for no. Curious what who your favorite team is. You can shout out your team as well and let us know if they won, and I'll be reading those comments. All right, that's going to do it for this edition of Chicago Bears Now. Again, appreciate everybody for tuning in. We have that preview going out tomorrow, so be on the lookout for that. Hit that subscribe button, and as always, you know what I'm going to say, Bears fans. Bear down.